and welcome to my 1-year review of Landstar as a business capacity operator, BCO, with Landstar. Now, the year is 2019, and I pulled my first load on January the 8th with Landstar. During the year, I worked approximately 45, maybe 46 weeks at the very most, probably a little less if you count weekends off and stuff. So anyway, I thought I would go over some of the numbers with you. They're not going to be mind-blowingly spectacular. I mean, if you have a regular company job, especially a local job like Walmart or hauling gas or I don't know, I worked with Ryder for, a couple of years, jobs like that. And you're bringing home after taxes, anywhere near $70,000 a year, I would keep my butt there. I wouldn't be leaving, going out into the owner-operator world. That's just my opinion. And like I said, that's just me, and that's just my preference. But anyway, I'm going to give you some numbers. I tried to be as accurate as I can be, and as transparent as I can be. I wanted to try to get it right, so I jotted down some notes. So if you see me looking down, I'm looking at my notes, okay? I just want to be sure I get everything right and tell you what we got to, what I made and everything last year as an owner-operator. And this was my first year with Landstar. When I say first year, I don't mean my first year ever driving for Landstar. I mean my first year since coming back over the road with Landstar in 2019, because I had worked with them for a couple of years prior to that, 2013 and 14. So this is, I took a few years off and I came back in 2019. So here's some of the numbers. I thought I'd go over them with you. I pulled approximately 139 loads. My average per load was $1,300 to the truck. That's after Landstar takes its cut. My gross amount of money I made for the entire year after Landstar got its cut was $181,000. Now, let's start whittling that down, okay? Because obviously I don't put $181,000 in the bank. If I did, everybody would be doing this job. But so let me whittle down some of the expenses and everything. But first, before I do that, let me just say, also the average length of the runs I did was 690 miles. And I averaged about $1.89, $1.90 a mile to the truck, which is pretty good, I think. That's after Landstar gets its cut. So let's see, let's go over this now. So we said our gross was $181,000. I drove approximately 95,000 loaded miles and approximately 20,000 empty, deadheaded miles. And I know it sounds like a lot. It does when you say it in a big number, but we're spreading this out over a year, so it's really not that much. And I spent approximately 19,000 gallons of gas on loaded miles and approximately 4,000 gallons on deadheaded miles. Now, the cost of the fuel for the loaded miles was approximately $47,000. Now, that's kind of low because I didn't pay what you pay at the pump. I paid the discounted price, and so we're going by discounted price of what I paid. And then deadheaded, it cost me about $9,600 for the year with the deadhead and everything. Also I had about $15,000 in repairs and service to the truck. Also, $5,200 for permits, tag, pre-pass, etc. My truck insurance that I have to pay, that Landstar doesn't deduct from my check, that I pay myself, $1,920. So, and that's how much I had to pay. So once we start adding all these up and subtracting it from the 181,000, we get 103,000. So I had, after all my deductions, before taxes, I had $103,000. Okay, so that's my gross income after deductions. And when I say deductions, I did not deduct the truck payment. So if you deducted the truck payment from the from what I made, it would be even less. But let's just, because they're going to tax you on your taxes. I mean, you can write off that, but so my gross, like I said, was approximately 103, and that would put me at, after taxes, about 72,000, somewhere in there. And then if you subtract the payments for the truck, my truck payments was about $720 a month. That puts me at around $64,000 after truck payment, after insurance, after taxes, after fuel, after all my expenses, deductions that Landstar does for permits, tags, etc. After all of that, and I don't have health care that I have to deduct because I have VA health care. So I'm not going to get into piddly-widdly deductions like tape that I use in a truck or something like that, or food in the truck and stuff like that. I mean, these are all things you could probably deduct, and I'll give the tools that I bought, stuff like that during the year, I'll give all that to the tax guy, and it may be even more or less tax I have to pay. But anyway, overall, you got to figure out the truck payment, everything else. I'll probably put between 60 and 65,000 in the bank to pay my bills around the house: mortgage, light bill, phone bills, internet, satellite, TV, gas, food, all these things that we have to pay, you know, credit card payments, everything else that you have to pay on, right? So if it was just me, all those bills, I don't think I could make it. To be honest with you, it would be hard. It would be really hard, you know. We'd have to give up some things. And but fortunately for me, my wife has a great job, and she makes a really good living. I'm not gonna say exactly how much she makes, but it's, after all, my net and her net isn't that drastic apart, to be honest with you. They're pretty close. So she has a lot less headache than I do. Plus she's home every night. But keep in mind, I only worked about 44, 45, 46, somewhere in there weeks during the year. I didn't work a full year. I took off about almost 2 months. You know, so when you subtract that, I only worked about 10 months. You know, $181,000, that's about $18,000 a month gross, and then your deductions and everything else, you can see, you know, about what you're going to make. Landstar, to me, is a great company, and I get a lot of flack about my love of Landstar. And I'm going to tell you like this. I have me and my wife and my immediate family around me. And then I have Landstar. Landstar is like that cousin that you love, and you love hanging out with, and you love being with, and you would protect them in a fight. You know what I'm saying? That's what Landstar is like for me. They're like that cousin, or that, you know, uncle by marriage that you still love, you know, even though he's not directly kin to you. But that's how Landstar is to me. They're kind of like family. And you're going to say, how can that be? They're a mega carrier. They have over 10,000 drivers. They don't know you. You're just a number. You're right. The CEO, he wouldn't know me from a hole in the wall. And I know that, and I accept that. More than half, majority of the people that work at Landstar, as far as office, safety, all these other people, they don't know me from a hole in the wall. They just know me and my truck number. And that's the truth. And I know it. I'm not stupid enough to think that they know me. When I call on the phone, they know my voice. And hey, you know, hey, like it was when at MSJ, it was different. I call, they know my voice, you know, because they're that small of a company, and it's family, right? But to me, Landstar, when I call, it reminds me of when I was in the Army. I call up, and the guys on the phone, man, the safety, the compliance, payroll settlements and all this stuff, any of them I call, they bend over backwards to try to help me. They give me all the tools I need to succeed. even though they don't know me personally, have never seen my face, they treat me like family. They don't treat me like a number, even though that's technically what I am to them. They understand, hey, he's a person, he's out there working, he's out on the road, and they try to help me. Not once have they intentionally tried to screw me over. Landstar, the company. I'm not talking about agents here. I'm not talking about the agents that we book loads for. That's a different animal. I'm talking about the core company, Landstar. And I'll protect them. I'll fight for Landstar. I mean, they fought for me, As you're going to find out in a later episode of my trucking life, why I left Landstar that first time back in 2014. I'll get into it more in that. But when I left under bad circumstances that could have, if it went the other way, I could have ended up in jail. I could have ended up being sued. A lot of things could have happened. But they stood beside me. They never threw me under the bus. They hired lawyers. They did everything they could do to protect me and themselves. And I know they didn't do it to protect me they did it by protecting me. They were protecting themselves. I understand that. I'm not naive to that. But what I'm saying is they could have tried to throw me under the bus and just blame everything on me and just scapegoat out. But they didn't. They did the right thing because I wasn't at fault. And so I'm going to stand by them until they give me a reason not to, And when you bash Landstar, you're bashing my family, So if I snap at you because of something you said about Landstar, hey, what if I called your mama a blank, blah, 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 blah? What if I called your cousin a blank, blah, 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 blah? Would you defend them? Would you say, yeah, my cousin's an asshole? Would you defend them? You like them. They're your family. Why wouldn't you defend them? You'd be crazy. You wouldn't be a good person if you did. So you can't expect me to go along with what you say when you bash my company, my family, and expect me to be okay with it. What if I talk trash about your daughter or your son or your wife or anybody else? And I know Landstar's not that close to me, but I'm just using that for an example because I don't know who all your family is. But I'm just saying, somebody that you care about, whether it's your immediate family or not, you would stand up for them. Even a friend, you would stand up for. Because I have friends I would stand up for and fight for right now. And they're not related to me. So Landstar's not related to me, of course. I'm just saying, but they're my friend. They're my family. I consider them family. So I recommend Landstar to people when I talk to them. But I talk to the person and I find out what they want to do, what they can do. And then if I don't think Landstar is a good fit for them, I'll tell them. I won't lie to them and say, yeah, come on over, because I don't want them to come over here and then hate Landstar or hate me because they couldn't, fulfill their dreams and everything over here that they want to do. I want to recommend Landstar to people when I talk to them that I know, that I feel confident that they can make it. And so I've talked to a lot of people out there that's emailed me, that's called me, text me, left comments, asked me questions about Landstar, and I've talked to a lot of you guys out there. And I hope I gave you good advice. I hope it's stuff that you were able to use. And a lot of you guys, man, you tell me, hey, I'm going to orientation. Hey, I'm going to buy my truck. And hey, I love it. That's awesome. Now, leave in the comments below every person that I asked to give me money, that I asked to put me down as a reference so I can get a bonus or something. If you say I did that, you're a liar. I never asked one person, never even hinted to put me down for a reference so I can get a bonus. Not once. I'm not asking for that. That's not what I'm asking for. I'm just asking for you to be happy. I want you to be happy. I want you to come over here if you want to come over here and have a great life, have a great job, have a great career, have a great adventure, because you pick where you want to go. You decide when you want to go. As long as you can afford it and you can find the loads going there, which I looked the other day on the load board, there was over 51,000 loads on the load board. I'm not lying. If you don't believe me, text me or leave a comment. I'll send you the screenshot, because I screenshotted it, of the load board. And I know a lot of those are some of them are duplicate loads, some of them are loads that I can't do, step deck, flatbed, heavy haul, stuff like that. I get that. But there's 10,000 BCOs over here at Landstar. Not all 10,000 are drive-in drivers. They're all different, step deck, flatbed, heavy haul, drive-in, reefer. There's all those over here. So I'm not competing with all 10,000 BCOs. And with that being said, I do compete because I have to get that load before they get it so I can make that money. So it is a competition. So why would I encourage people to come over here? Because I'm not selfish. I'll share. Come on over. I'll even help you find loads, man. I got a friend, I try to help him find loads all the time. And he won't take the daggone one. It just makes me want to choke him. Yeah, I really love the company. And there's things about this company that I don't like. I even did a video, things about Landstar that make me see red. Just little small stuff. It's nothing that would make me ever want to leave the company. I got cousins that there's things about them that I don't like, but I still love them. They're family. We were talking about a cousin the other day, and I was like, I told my wife, I said, I love him, but he shouldn't do what he's doing, And Landstar does things that they shouldn't do that I don't like. And when I say Landstar does it, I'm not going to say, I don't think it's them specifically doing it, because it just doesn't add up, Let me give you an example. At Landstar, when you agree to book a load, the agent will give you the rate. He'll send you a rate con. You reply, yeah, I got it, okay. You accept the load. At that rate, that amount of money. That's the amount of money you should get paid unless something happens that would add to the load, thus more money, So anyway, you haul the load. You make your money. A month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months down the road, you're looking at your settlement sheet from your current loads that you're hauling now, and you see a little thing down there that says adjustments. Rate change. Back on so-and-so date, this load, and it gives you the load and everything. And then it has the amount that they're going to take back from you because the rate went down. I've never seen one that said the rate went up and you get this much more money. I've never seen one of those. But I have seen that. It happened to me twice, and both times I think it was $100. I've heard of people up into the thousands of dollars. So I did some research on it, and I asked and did a survey of drivers at Landstar that's had this happen to them. And I asked them about it, and over 90% of them said, man, I had my paperwork, I had copies of all my rate cards, everything. I sent it to Landstar, I contested it, I kept my money. They didn't lose their money. And then there's a handful that have lost me, like myself. I didn't contest it because I didn't know you could. I just thought you had to accept it and go on. But I found out you can't contest it. But even the fact that they would attempt to do that, I mean, you agreed to haul the load at this amount of money. That's the amount you should get paid. You can't go back after you've hauled the load. They've paid you the money. They'd said, no, we only want to pay you this much. Well, maybe I didn't want to haul it for that much, but I can't unhaul the load. It's done been hauled. So, you can't go back and undo what you've done. You shouldn't be able to take back money that you had to pay me. So that's one thing that I don't like about Landstar. And this segment of the video is sponsored by Florida State. So that's one thing that I did before about the things about Landstar that I don't like. Makes me see red, whatever. I didn't put that one in there, but that's definitely one. And every time I talk to somebody about coming over to Landstar, I tell them that exact story right there because I want them to know. I don't hold back. I don't hide stuff. Now, for everybody out there that says, well, I wouldn't work for Landstar and them take 35% of my money. Okay, let's talk about it. I didn't make notes for this part of it, so this part I'm just going off my brain. Okay, here's a good example. I had to buy, this year, in the 12 months or so with Landstar, I bought I bought 8 tires, and I'm going to buy 4 more, but I bought 8 already. Now, 4 of those tires were steer tires. 4 steer tires in 1 year. That's not good, right? All right, let me explain what happened. I had a big hump get tore out of one, and it was making a big thing, and so I had to replace it. That was the first one. The second one had some crazy irregular wear on it, and I had to replace that one. So I got 2 more. I bought a Goodyear, and I bought a, this was at separate times, so that's why they're different tires. And the other one was a Bridgestone. The Bridgestone just, after almost a year, it just started crumbling and coming apart, and it was just, you know, the Goodyear, it had a little plug missing out of it, like somebody just plopped a piece of the tread out. But other than that, it was still a great tire. So I kept it for a spare, because you can use it at any position on the truck. You know, it's just a good spare. And I put 2 brand new Michelin 16 ply tires, the top of the line, great steer tires. Mounted and balanced everything at Love's in Tennessee. It would have cost me $600, I think approximately $650, somewhere in there. So we're looking at about $1,300 for 2 tires. Okay. I went through the LCAP program at Landstar, and if you'll email me or text me, I'll tell you what LCAP means, because right now, off the top of my head, I cannot. My memory is not that good. So anyway, but through the LCAP program at Landstar, I paid $881. Now think about that. $1,300 minus $900, I say $400. All right, and I've still got 4 more tires to buy for drives, so I have a whole new set of tires all the way around. So when I buy those tires, I'm probably going to save at least $400 or more. The other day I bought fuel over in Grand Bay, Alabama, and there's 2 popular YouTubers that were there when I bought it that can contest to this. On the board, I think it said $2.60 or $2.55, something like that. I paid $1.60. That's almost $1 discount off of 100, and I think I got 160 gallons, so it was about $160 discount. Now, as much fuel as I burn, because my fuel mileage average sucks. It's like 5.5, somewhere in there on a good week. So as much fuel as I burn, I fuel a lot. So every time I get fuel, if I'm saving that much, almost $1 a gallon, about 19,000 gallons of fuel for loaded miles. Now think about that. Even if I didn't make $1 a gallon, save $1 a gallon. Suppose I only save 50 cents a gallon. That's $9,500. That's $9,500 I save. You see? But I say the minimum is 50 cents. I mean, or even more than that's the minimum. But what I'm saying is, suppose it was $1 a mile I saved. That's $19,000 I saved. You see? Suppose I had all those expenses that I just had, but it was with even more of a higher percentage, you know? Suppose I was getting 85% or 75%, and I was, you know, instead of what that is. But I wasn't getting the fuel discount, you know? Every time I go to get an oil change, I do the max. I do the ultimate oil change at TA Petros. And it runs you, what is it, like over $300 something? I think I pay like $235 because you get a discount. Maintenance, labor, all that kind of stuff you do at TA Petros, you get a discount. All these things, they pay for a lot of stuff, man. Well, they don't pay for it. They get the discounts. They negotiate and get us a good discount. So you have all these great discounts. You get discounts on your phone usage. You get discount on when you go buy a truck. You get discounts on tires, parts, fuel, all these discounts add up. You know, they're huge. Now I'm gonna tell you the best part. Out of all that repairs that I had done, like over close to 15,000, I had a radiator bust out on me and my AC back in the sleeper went out. Altogether, it was like 3,100 bucks. I could have paid it out of my pocket, wrote him a check. That would have been 3,100 bucks out of my checking account. You know, it would have depleted my money that I have in my checking account. I could have put it on a credit card. Would have had to pay interest. I go through Landstar. I still have to pay a little bit of interest. It's not that bad. I think it may be 18% or it may be less. I'm not sure, but you pay it so fast you don't even notice the interest and everything because the way they take it out weekly out of your check. But I do that, then I don't have to worry about, well, if I need that money around the house, you know, to buy something at the house, if we have an emergency at the house. I don't like to be cash poor or low on cash funds or whatever. So I'll go to Landstar. I say, hey, I need to borrow this much money. Okay, no problem. Here you go. I need 4 new drive tires. Okay, no problem. Here you go. They help you out. They don't want you to fail. They want you to succeed. And that's what I love about this company. I've never worked for a company that wanted me to succeed is more than Landstar does. I mean, it's amazing, and I love it. So when you factor in that safety net of being able to go and borrow money, when I was with them the first time and I bought another truck, I went to them, they loaned me $5,000 to help out with the down payment. You know, I've had breakdowns and they've loaned me money for them before. You know, it's just the support that you get from the company is worth that 35%. You know, all the trailers, the facilities, everything that they give you to help you succeed is worth that 35% to me. It takes all the stress off. I don't have to worry about filing this permit or filing that permit. All I have to do is my 2290, my income taxes, and keep my truck working good. Get my truck inspections done, get my DOT physical done. That's all I have to worry about. I don't have to worry about going out and get a permit to drive in this state, going out and getting a permit to drive in that state, getting this kind of permit, that kind of permit, cab cars, all this other crap. I don't have to worry about it. It's stress-free. To me, it's worth 35%, even, you know, plus all the discounts. Hey, I hear people all the time say, I get 100% because I'm my own company. I hear people say, I get 85% or 90% or whatever. Hey, if you're happy, I'm happy. But don't hate on me because I'm working for 65%. You know, if I don't hate it, why should you hate it? You know, so, you know, that being said, I'm not telling you to come to Landstar. I'm just saying I love Landstar. And I'm not telling you you can't attack Landstar. I'm just telling you if you attack them in front of me, there's a good chance I'll throw a little back at you. Because that's just the kind of person I am. I protect my family, my friends. And if you hate me for that, hey, it is what it is. You hate me. I'm sorry. Not sorry. But anyway, I just wanted to put that out there so you can see. I had a pretty good year at Landstar. Like I said, I took a lot of time off. I did. And I was home a decent amount. I'm going to take more time off, I hope, this year. As I pay down more bills around the house, you know, pay off the truck, pay off some little things that we need to pay off here, I'll be able to take even more time off. My goal is to get down to where the only thing I have to pay for is my mortgage. And then I can really just work maybe during the summers or during the spring or the fall, you know, something like that when there's not no snow and ice. But when it's not summertime, I want to be here at the house, maybe run a few runs during the summer when I ain't got nothing to do around the house. That's the goal I want to get to. So anyway, because I'll be 50 years old in about 3 weeks, a little over 3 weeks, less than a month. So I can't keep doing this till I'm 70 or 65 even, probably. I'll be lucky if I make it to 60, to be honest with you. Because climbing in and out of them trucks takes a toll on you. But I'm going to give it my best shot, and I'm going to try to make sure that when I step out of that truck for the last time, I'm in a truck with a blue star on it. So that's my goal. Anyway, I done dragged this on for 30 minutes. I'm going to let you guys go. But I just want to give you my review of Landstar, what I think about Landstar, and everything that about Landstar is not hunky-dory and roses and sweet nothings. There's bad with any company. There's bad. So I told you some of it. If you go back and watch my video, things that about Landstar that make me see red, I'll try to put a link in here if I can find it, and in the description below. If you want to go back and watch that, I talk about a few things I don't like about Landstar, and I get kind of fired up about it too, so it's a pretty good video. But there's just certain things like that, and if there's other things I can think of, if you'll email me if I can remember them, I'll tell you. But like I said, it's nothing major. It's nothing that would make me leave the company. So I'm going to stay here for a while, as long as they'll have me anyway. All right, so thank y'all so much for watching this video. And I hope it does half as good as my last video did. Maybe it'll do even better. Who knows? When I say my last video, I meant my last review of Landstar video I did. I think I did a 6-month review. So this is a 1-year review. And it's a little bit late getting out, a couple of months. But I'm sorry. I didn't want to just throw together some crap. I wanted to sit down with some numbers and be able to tell you some specifics. And, you know, so like I said, at the end of the year, money I put in my checking account after taxes, truck payment, all my other expenses, fuel, insurance, all that stuff, was around 63 to 65,000, somewhere in there. And I say that because we have not completed our taxes yet. It may be more, maybe less, but that's the ballpark figure, because the president was nice enough. Thank you, Mr. President, for moving the deadline to file your taxes back to July. So we're going to wait and file ours maybe after the 4th of July. Why would you pay Uncle Sam money before you have to? You know what I'm saying? So anyway, thank y'all so much for liking, watching, commenting, subscribing. I really, really appreciate every one of you guys. You guys are amazing. And if you're not subscribed and you're just clicking on this video to check out the review of Landstar, go down there, click the subscribe button, hit that little bell icon. You'll be notified every time I upload a video. And hey, I put out a lot of content. I try to put out 3 videos a week. And a lot of times it's stuff about Landstar, loads that I haul, and stuff like that. And that can help you out, especially if you're on the fence about considering coming over to Landstar or not coming to Landstar. So, or staying in Landstar if you're already here and you're a BCO. Come on, subscribe to me. I'm your brother. You know, we're brothers, Landstar. So anyway, thank y'all so much. I really appreciate it. Our goal this year is to get to 1,000 subscribers. We're going to do our best. I got an amazing giveaway. And this time, the giveaway, I promise you, will be 100% based off of participation by you. It'll be probably selected randomly through the comments. We'll talk more about it when we get closer to that 1,000 number. But I promise you, it is something you would want. It's going to be big. I promise. All right. So thank y'all so much. I really do appreciate it. Y'all have a great day. And I hope this helped you out. And like I said, if you ever have any questions, you can always shoot me an email. thetruckerstable, all one word, lowercase, @gmail.com. All right. And all that stuff is in the description below. Just click on it and you should be able to shoot me an email and we can talk. All right, thanks, and y'all have a great day.